China prepares for Shenzhou 20. Rocket rolled out ahead of April 24th launch to Tiangong space station. In a powerful display of determination, technological prowess, and national pride, China has rolled out its Long March 2F rocket in preparation for the highly anticipated launch of the Shenzhou 20 mission to its Tiangong space station. The rollout, which took place at the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center located deep in the Gobi Desert, marks a key milestone in the final countdown toward the launch scheduled for April 24, 2025 at 9:15 Universal Time Coordinated. The mission, officially known as Shenzhou 20, meaning Divine Vessel, is the 20th overall in the Shenzhou program and the 15th crewed flight in the history of China's human spaceflight endeavors. It represents the latest step in a long-term national strategy aimed at establishing a permanent and self-sufficient human presence in space. The launch is expected to carry a crew of 3 takonauts, Chinese astronauts, who will remain in orbit for approximately 6 months as part of China's ongoing commitment to space science, engineering, and exploration. The rocket rollout and final preparations. The Long March 2F Yao 20 launch vehicle, a trusted workhorse of China's human spaceflight program, was slowly and carefully transported from the vertical assembly building to the launch pad atop a mobile platform. The rocket, towering at approximately 62 meters tall and weighing over 460 metric tons when fully fueled, traveled 1.5 kilometers over several hours in a dramatic but controlled journey that signals the transition into the final phase of mission readiness. Engineers and ground crews from the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CSC, and the China Manned Space Agency, CMSA, are now conducting the final inspections and system checkouts. These include integrated tests of the rocket's propulsion systems, telemetry, guidance, navigation, and control modules, as well as communications interfaces between the rocket, spacecraft, and ground stations across China and overseas tracking networks. According to CMSA, all systems are functioning normally and the mission is proceeding on schedule. Backup contingency plans, including weather tracking and emergency recovery protocols, are also being rehearsed to ensure mission safety and reliability. Shenzhou 20's role in China's expanding space vision. The Shenzhou 20 crew will launch into low Earth orbit and rendezvous with China's Tiangong space station, a fully operational orbital laboratory that has become the centerpiece of the country's near-Earth human spaceflight program. Launched in stages beginning with the Tianhe core module in April 2021, Tiangong is now comprised of 3 pressurized modules: Tianhe core, Wentian experiment module, and Mengtian experiment module, forming a T-shaped configuration in orbit. The astronauts aboard Shenzhou 20 will dock with the forward port of the Tianhe module and officially relieve the Shenzhou 19 crew, who have completed their rotation. During their 180-day mission, the Shenzhou 20 crew will engage in a diverse set of activities, including conducting over 40 planned scientific experiments in the fields of space medicine, fluid dynamics, combustion, and materials science, performing extravehicular activities, EVAs, or spacewalks to install new hardware and inspect the station's external systems, testing new life support technologies and long-duration human health monitoring procedures, participating in public engagement and educational outreach programs designed to inspire the next generation of Chinese scientists and engineers. These tasks are not just symbolic. They are foundational to China's vision of building a sustained human presence in orbit and eventually establishing lunar bases and deep space exploration missions. Tiangong, Heavenly Palace in Earth orbit. With a name that translates to Heavenly Palace, Tiangong serves as a powerful metaphor for China's cosmic ambitions. Unlike earlier Chinese orbital modules, Tiangong is designed for long-term occupancy and continuous upgrades. The station orbits at an altitude of approximately 390 to 400 kilometers and has been in service since 2021. What makes Tiangong distinct from other international space stations is its modular expansion capability. China has announced plans to expand the station into a 6-module complex over the next few years, adding new research platforms and docking hubs to support international astronauts and even commercial entities. Beijing has invited global partners to propose experiments and collaborative projects aboard Tiangong, signaling a subtle but steady push toward soft power diplomacy in orbit. China has already conducted cooperative missions with researchers from countries such as Russia, Pakistan, Germany, and Italy. There are even discussions underway about allowing non-Chinese astronauts to join future missions. A clear sign that China wants Tiangong to be more than just a national outpost. China's broader space agenda, from Earth orbit to the Moon. While Tiangong represents a major achievement in its own right, it is only one piece of a far grander puzzle. China's space strategy is comprehensive and long-term, blending military, scientific, industrial, and diplomatic goals into a coherent vision for space development. Over the next 5 years, China aims to land astronauts on the Moon before 2030 under the China Lunar Research Station program, launch next-generation cargo spacecraft and reusable launch vehicles, construct relay satellites and refueling stations in orbit to support long-range exploration missions, develop advanced propulsion systems for deep space missions to Mars and beyond. The Shenzhou 20 mission serves as a critical training ground for these future endeavors. From validating long-duration spaceflight procedures to testing advanced environmental control systems, each crewed mission helps China build a deeper foundation for its future cosmic footprint. The global implications. China's rise as a leading space power is being closely watched by the international community, with the United States and its Artemis program leading a coalition of spacefaring nations toward the Moon and Mars, and commercial players like Spacex, Blue Origin, and ULA reshaping access to orbit. The geopolitical landscape in space is evolving rapidly. China, through its deliberate and well-funded approach, is carving out a distinct lane, one that emphasizes self-reliance, methodical progress, and state-driven innovation. Shenzhou 20, like the missions before it, underscores China's consistency and seriousness about space. By continuing to launch successful crewed missions and operate a fully functional space station, China is demonstrating that it is not just participating in the global space race. It's in it for the long haul. A nation watches. As launch day approaches, the excitement in China is palpable. National pride runs deep with each successful space mission, and millions of citizens are expected to watch the launch live on television and online streaming platforms. Schools, science centers, and museums across the country are preparing special programs and exhibits to celebrate the occasion. The Shenzhou 20 mission symbolizes not just scientific achievement, but a collective national dream, one that unites generations in a shared pursuit of knowledge, progress, and exploration. It is a reflection of how far China has come in just a few decades and how far it still intends to go.